Hey, this is Holly. So this is my last teaching philosophy video. So over the course of this course, I think I probably have a worse view of technology for a math classroom. I think there are some things that are beneficial, some that are useful if every student in the classroom has their own individual tablet or laptop, but that is highly unlikely in the area that I'm in, so I don't find it very many things useful. A lot of the stuff heavily relies on whether that student can, all the students, can actually have the technology in front of their face the entire class period. Some students are lucky enough to own their own laptops and have them in class, but I mean, these are middle school students. I know in my area, very few students around here have their own laptops, and the schools definitely are not just handing them out. So a lot of the technology is just not worthwhile to use in the classroom when it would be faster for me to follow a more traditional route of teaching myself or assigning videos for them to watch at home. Using it in the classroom for a solid lesson would almost be pointless because they wouldn't be able to do any of the work by themselves. I mean, we could go to a computer lab that has its own problems in and of itself if it's a technology that involves purchasing, the school that involves other issues with the school paying for it because some math technology like Maple is about $80 even on a student discount, and I don't see a public school buying that if they don't already have it, and definitely not requiring my middle school students to buy that either. So one of the pieces of technology we were using in this course was TED-Ed, and I find it almost entirely useless for a math class. It has great points. It's a wonderful software for English or social studies, and even science in middle school. But in math in middle school, they need to be able to work through things in practice. Math is practice, so you can't, I mean, there are some higher order stuff to it, but there's a lot of practice involved, and its lack of mathematic symbols is just not useful. It doesn't give you any options for doing that. When I have so much basic foundation to teach, it's really hard to be like, let's go read this stuff about math in general. So I don't see TED Ed being useful at all in a math classroom, except for maybe as project material, but not for just a normal lesson. The video aspect is fine. That I love plenty of videos. Khan Academy has some really good ones, but TED Ed is just not geared to math. It has no integration of math symbols, so I would have to have a whole day just teaching them how to read computer language for math, just to use the software. So I don't, I don't like TED Ed for math. It's wonderful for language arts. Khan Academy has its own website. I think it's wonderful. It's super useful. It would be a million times more useful if every student in my classroom had a laptop. They've done studies of them using just Khan Academy in the classroom, and it proved to really significantly raise their test scores, and that's wonderful. Again, availability of technology is going to be a big problem. I think I'm just an old school person that just really likes math with pencil and paper. It's successful and it works. I think it's up to the teacher to make the students engage in it. There are ways to integrate technology, just not necessarily for them to do it individually on their own without their own technology, like their own laptops and tablets. So I think some of the reading, like the flipped classroom stuff, is really, really cool. And the Saul Khan video talks about that as well, doing the flipped classroom style, where you can actually send the video home for them to learn the actual lesson, and then when they come back in, really work on problems. And that's really great for math, for them to be able to go home and watch the lesson and rewind it and pause it at their own speed. And then when they come back in, be able to work with the teacher one-on-one. So that's really awesome, but I think that's great. I think just personally have a hard time picturing how you would really integrate it for an entire lesson. I think Khan Academy, if everyone had their own laptops and computers, would be fine. TED Ed in a not math classroom would be fine. Right now, I just have not found, and I've looked a lot, I just have not found a piece of technology that I find useful enough to be used for an entire lesson in a math classroom. So that's where I stand. Thank you.